Scrapper Green here. Okay, last night I was in the garage stripping some aluminum clad BX cable. The aluminum clad has cables wrapped in paper, a pretty thick gauge cable in here, much thicker than what you would find in your typical Romex, at least for this gauge of wire that I'm been stripping. Now, I've had a few hundred meters of Romex that I've stripped. I stripped the outer casing off, and now I am getting set to go through my TNT machine with the individual strands to bring it down. Now, generally, if you're using a braided wire, so an extension cord, as I did in one of my other videos, I demonstrated that if you take the outer casing off of the extension cord and bring it down to #1 insulated wire, a #1 insulated wire like this or like this, that tends to be the best. You start stripping off too much of the insulation, you start losing money. So on an extension cord where you have the thinner gauge braided wire, taking off 2 layers of insulation plus the poly strands that wrap around the individual wires, you've ended up destroying value or destroying your time. Now, if it's a hobby and you enjoy doing it, fine. I don't mind sometimes, but I'm not making money. Now with Romex BX cable, you can go down the 2 levels of insulation. So I guess if there's a scrapper law about wire, if it's a solid piece of wire, as opposed to braided strand, or, you know, some braided strands on big cables are fine, but, you know, the typical extension cord type of braided strand of copper, it's only worth it to take it down 1 layer. Take the outer sheathing off, bring it down to #1 wire if they'll accept it as #1. If it's a solid copper wire, it's worth it to take the Romex off if you can do it fast and safely. And that involves not using a knife. Knives can be done quickly, but you're going to end up nicking yourself and maybe even needing stitches. So let me just quickly show you how you run some wire through the TNT before I run out. I've set up my TNT jig here, 3rd hole over 1, 2, 3, to handle the Romex gauge wire. Start it in, just put it in the hole. I like to get a start on it with the plier, pull it through. Now, what I do to start it, because I always find it odd, if I can twist it where the cut was, generally that'll cause the wire to pop through where I've just split the plastic. Grab the copper, grab the plastic sheathing, pull it off. Oh, there must have been a nick. That happens sometimes. Some of this wire from this particular strip came out of places and I could see burn marks on it for where they put the staples into the 2x4s, where the electrician or the do-it-yourselfer hit the staple too hard and it was obviously shorting and causing burns. So sometimes you find that. But here we go, insulation, copper. As easy as that. Well, yeah, the hardest part about this is it's so easy to strip lengths of copper with this TNT machine that you got to keep the loose ends. So there you go. 1/4 pound off the top of my head. Let's get my really small scale out, we'll see what it is. Two and 3/4 ounces. There you go. Very easy to use TNT wire stripping machine. I can't recommend it enough. The only problem that I do have with it is occasionally, if you're getting really old 3-strand wire. So this one here, the 14-3, I don't know if you can see the number, obviously you can. The 14-3, sometimes it's really old and it has thicker insulation than the whole. This hole here, the largest hole on here, works extremely well with your typical extension cord. And I've run 14.3 through it. But with the older stuff, where the insulation's a little bit thicker and the wire gauge might be a little bit thicker, it just doesn't fit. So I tend to use a hook blade, or I'll set up a special jig, a hook blade, just pulling it through, quick score, and to get and expose the 3. I wish the hole would be a little bit bigger. Maybe I'll pull out the drill press and widen the hole for myself. I called Tim at TNT and mentioned this to him. Hopefully he'll have it fixed. Send me another copy or send me another one, and we can start pulling my 14.3 through it easy enough. Especially this older stuff. And that's what we tend to find as scrappers, right? We're not going to the store and buying the new stuff. Okay, but aside from that little problem with the 14.3, and once we get it down to the 14.3, right? Running those red, black, and white through the TNT machine, super quick. Get through a couple hundred yards of that in 20 minutes. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye now. Scrapper Green signing off. Glasses, gloves, all the time. See you later.